Hey, I'm writing a big paper right now, so this is going to be a short video, but that's perfect because I want to share with you a little story that's made a big difference for me. This story took place in Bethlehem in the West Bank just a couple years ago, but you need a little background information for it to make sense. I've always felt like an outsider, no matter what group I'm a part of at the time. For whatever reason, I've always felt more connected to whomever was not a part of the group that I'm in. And when I was younger, that led to a lot of confusion and isolation, sometimes hard feelings from people who felt like I was rejecting the group. It honestly never made sense to me until I went to Bethlehem. You mentioned Bethlehem, most people think about Christmas. I think about walls, because Bethlehem is home to the West Bank barrier, an enormous concrete wall intended to keep Israelis and Palestinians away from each other. It dominates the entire town, and the graffiti all along the wall on both sides has stuck with me ever since. Bethlehem right now is an emblem of the walls that keep us separated from each other. But my story begins not at the wall, but at the Church of the Nativity. It's a pretty fascinating bit of architecture with a lot of history. The central portion of the building is the Greek Orthodox Basilica of the Nativity. On the left-hand side is the Roman Catholic Church of St. Catherine, and along the right-hand side is a portion cared for by the Armenian Apostolic Church. And that's where I was standing, in the Armenian section. I was talking with a good friend of mine and Rabbi Brad, and we were talking about traditions, how we understand the traditions we're a part of, where we draw lines around what we perceive to be our tradition. Rabbi Brad gestured around at the Armenian section of the church and said he considers this to be part of his own tradition. Well, I found that pretty surprising and intriguing. And my friend, who's a progressive Christian, said she didn't consider this to be part of her tradition at all. In many ways, she defines her tradition in contrast to the ornate decoration and elaborate institution. But then Brad asked me about my sense of tradition, and I said I didn't want to let go of any of it. I don't want to be forced to let go of so many things I love just to strictly define my tradition. And I'll never forget it. Rabbi Brad said, I too see myself as a bridge figure. It suddenly all made sense. I'm a bridge figure. That's why I don't just feel at home in a particular place. I want to connect to other places. I feel like an outsider so much because I'm positioned between places. I want to connect those groups together for the good of them both. But it also clarified what I always do wrong. In wanting to build bridges, I'm constantly tempted to criticize whatever group I'm with at the time. If I'm not careful, my desire to build bridges can put up walls between me and the people I care about. And since I never totally feel at home with any particular group, I have to find my home in hope. The hope that eventually, by the grace of God, bridges win out over walls. So maybe this is something you can relate to. The thing that is your strength is also your weakness? If so, I hope you'd be willing to share that with me so we can encourage each other. Leave your thoughts in the comment section, and please consider sharing this video with someone who might appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by and listening to my stories.